Picture this. You're deep in the Middle Ages, inside a secluded monastery. It's late at night. The only light comes from the flickering flames of a few candles, and the only sound is the faint scratching of a quill on parchment.
And in the middle of this scene, there's one solitary monk. He's been condemned to death for breaking his vows, but he's been given one last shot, one impossible chance to save his own life.
And that chance? It all comes down to creating one of the most mysterious and legendary books in all of history, the Codex Gigas. You might know it by its more sinister name, the Devil's Bible. And today, we're diving into its chilling story.
To really understand this book, you have to start where it all began, with a terrifying legend that's been whispered for centuries.
So this monk, desperate to escape his execution, makes an absolutely unbelievable promise. He tells the monastery's leader that he will create a book so magnificent it will contain all of human knowledge. And he'll do it in a single night. If he succeeds, they spare his life. The monastery actually agrees, so the monk gets to work. But as the hours tick by and midnight approaches, the cold reality sets in. He's not even close. There's just no way. In a moment of pure terror and panic, he says a prayer, not to God, but to the devil. He offers his very soul if the devil will finish the book for him.
As the legend goes, the devil appeared, and a deal was struck. By morning, the incredible book was finished, perfect down to the last letter. And, as a kind of signature for his work, the devil included a full-page self-portrait. It's because of that dark pact that the Codex Gigas will forever be known as the Devil's Bible.
Okay, it's an amazing story. But here's the thing. Behind that legend is a very real, very large book. So let's pull back the curtain on the myth. What is the Codex Gigas, really?
Well, its real name is the Codex Gigas, which is just Latin for giant book. And trust me, that name is no exaggeration at all.
For starters, let's just talk about its weight. 75 kilograms. That's about the same as a full-grown person. It's so heavy, you need at least 2 people just to lift it.
And the size is just as staggering. The book stands almost 3 feet tall, which makes it, hands down, the largest surviving medieval manuscript in the world.
To make its over 600 pages, they had to use vellum, which is a parchment made from animal hide. It's estimated that it took the skins of around 160 animals to create this one book. The scale of this project is just mind-blown.
But it's what's inside that's truly wild. This is way more than just a Bible. It was like a portable library for the Middle Ages. Of course, it has the full Latin Bible, but it also has works on medicine, history, a calendar, a bunch of magic spells, and even rituals for performing an exorcism. It literally tried to be the book of all human knowledge.
And yet, with all of that incredible stuff packed inside, there's one single feature that stands out above all the rest. The one thing that's the most mysterious and honestly the most unsettling part of the whole book.
This, a massive, full-page, absolutely terrifying portrait of the devil. You have to remember, in the deeply religious Middle Ages, giving up an entire, valuable page of a holy book to a grotesque and powerful image of Satan, it was pretty much unthinkable.
And what makes this even more intense is what's on the page directly opposite, a beautiful, serene image of the heavenly city. So you have damnation on one side and salvation on the other. It's this powerful direct confrontation between good and evil staring right back at you.
Now, as if a demonic origin story wasn't enough, the book's real-life history is a whole other saga of war, theft, and surviving against all odds. It was created back in the 13th century in a monastery in Bohemia. It eventually ended up in the collection of Emperor Rudolf II. But then, in 1648, during the 30 Years' War, the Swedish army looted Prague and took the book as a prize, hauling it back to Stockholm.
But its journey was far from over. In 1697, a terrible fire broke out in the Stockholm Royal Palace. To save this priceless book, someone apparently just threw all 75 kilograms of it out of a high window. It somehow survived the fall, but a few pages were lost in the chaos and have never been seen again.
All of which brings us back to that central mystery. After all this time, all this history, what does modern science have to say about that incredible legend? Well, the two theories could not be more different. The legend says it was written supernaturally, in just one night. But careful handwriting analysis suggests something else entirely, that it was written by one single scribe over a period of 20 to 30 years, a whole lifetime of work.
But, and this is the part that is so baffling, Despite being written over decades, the calligraphy is unbelievably consistent. From start to finish, the handwriting is exactly the same. There's no sign that the scribe got older or tired or even made a mistake. It looks like it was all written in one continuous, perfect session. And that's a consistency that researchers still can't really explain.
And that's where the mystery just gets deeper. Science tells us it was probably one person, but it can't explain the almost inhuman perfection of the work. How is that even possible? And most importantly, it still doesn't answer the biggest question of them all.
Why dedicate a glorious, full page in a holy book to this? Was it meant as a warning, maybe a confession? Or is it exactly what the legend claims? The signature of its true author? Maybe some mysteries just aren't meant to be solved by science alone.